It has been 16 years since Storage Wars first aired, and the cast that started it all looks nothing like it did in 2010. Daryl Sheets was with the show from the very beginning. 30 years in the storage auction business before any camera crew came looking for him. The man who paid $3,600 for a unit in Van Nuys in 2011 and walked out with 12 paintings worth $297,000. The man whose catchphrase, "This is the wow factor," became one of the most quoted lines in the show's entire run. The man who built everything from scratch, brought his son into the business, and looked from the outside like someone who had figured it all out. In 2019, his daughter found him barely conscious at home. Congestive heart failure. His heart had not been pumping effectively for months while he kept working and saying nothing. He told his fans himself. For weeks, his social media went silent, and people assumed the worst. Then he came back, out of the ICU and walking again. He retired in 2023 and moved to Lake Havasu City, Arizona. He opened a small antique shop called Havasu Show Me Your Junk and appeared to be doing exactly what a man does when he decides to slow all the way down. He posted shop updates. He ran yard sales. He sold collectibles online. It looked peaceful. His last Instagram post went up in December 2025. Since at least 2023, someone had been running a sustained campaign against him inside his community. Fabricated statements posted under his name. Fake disputes attributed to him. People showing up at his shop looking to confront someone Daryl had never met. A separate individual was operating around Lake Havasu City, presenting himself as Daryl, collecting money from residents under his name. The operation had been running for 3 years. Daryl filed reports. The police were aware. The platforms had not acted. In March 2026, he made all of it public in a Facebook post that named the crime and stated plainly that what was being done to him was a felony. On April 22, 2026, officers responded to his home in Lake Havasu City. Daryl Sheets was 67 years old. The autopsy returned clean. No drugs, no alcohol. Renee Nazota posted a video the same day. He said Daryl had been showing him the messages for months. Hundreds of them, targeting his weight, his age, his family. When Renee was around, Daryl laughed. At home alone at night, it was different. Renee said directly, "You never know what demons somebody faces and what you might push them through." Lake Havasu City Police confirmed on the record that the cyberbullying accusations were part of the active investigation. As of May 2026, no arrest has been made. Brandy Passante, who had lost a parent and a sibling to suicide while continuing to appear on the show without ever mentioning it on camera, did not post a tribute. She posted directly to anyone who might be struggling. She wrote that their pain would not disappear when they were gone. It would move to the people they left behind. Jared Schultz had his own kind of collapse, and it was a long time coming. For years, he and Brandy were the couple at the center of the show. Bickering on camera, making up off it, raising 2 kids while running a business and filming a reality series simultaneously. It looked chaotic, but manageable. By 2018, they had quietly separated, but kept it private while continuing to film together. When Brandy finally confirmed the split in 2021, she described it as painful and complicated. The breaking point had already happened months before she said anything publicly. In April 2021, Jared was arrested on a domestic violence battery charge involving Brandy. A&E cut ties immediately. He disappeared from the show without explanation. Brandy stayed. Months later, she posted a tattoo on Instagram. The word "free" with a bird flying away. She did not need to write a caption. As of 2026, Brandy continues on Storage Wars, and in 2024 went public with her boyfriend, Clifford Beaver. She is one of the few cast members who came out of the show's most difficult years in a better position than she entered them. Jared now owns the Rush Bar and Grill in Lake Forest, California, and keeps an extremely low profile. He was linked to Rachel Beckman in 2022, but has said almost nothing publicly since the arrest. The fame that once elevated him now follows him as a permanent reminder of everything it took away. Barry Weiss left Storage Wars in 2013, while the show was still at its peak. In April 2019, he was involved in a severe motorcycle accident in Los Angeles. A car pulled out without looking and hit both Barry and his girlfriend of 30 years. Barry went through 9 hours of surgery and spent a week in a coma. His girlfriend's back was broken and her spine damaged. 3 years later, she was still in rehabilitation. The crash ended their relationship. Barry made brief appearances in seasons 14 and 15, but did not return for season 16 in 2025. Dave Hester built his entire Storage Wars identity on being the villain. The loud bids, the signature "you-up," the way he drove prices up specifically to stop other buyers from profiting. Then in 2012, he filed a lawsuit against A&E, claiming producers had been planting items in lockers and that cast members knew what was inside units before auctions began. The legal battle dragged on for years. His auction business collapsed. When the case settled, the payout was minimal. His son, Dave Jr., eventually changed his name on social media and cut public ties entirely. In 2018, Dave suffered a stroke related to sleep apnea. He made a comeback for season 16 in June 2025. His Yup is back. Ivy Calvin said publicly it was something he had been hoping never to hear again. Dan and Laura Dotson were the auctioneers, the voices that set the pace for every auction across 17 seasons. In 2014, Dan collapsed at home with a double brain aneurysm. Laura performed CPR on their living room floor before paramedics arrived. Emergency surgery saved his life. Then in 2020, their son Garrett was shot in a drive-by shooting in Arizona. The bullet ruptured his vena cava. Garrett called 911 himself, was airlifted to Las Vegas, and survived after a trauma team physically massaged his heart during the flight. As of 2026, Dan and Laura are still the auctioneers on Storage Wars, still running their auction business, still standing after everything the last decade threw at them. Renee and Casey Najota entered Storage Wars in Season 4 and have outlasted almost everyone. In 2021, their Bargain Hunter thrift store in San Diego closed after decades of operation. Then in March 2023, Renee's father Gunter passed away after a 6-month battle with stage 4 lung cancer. Gunter had been a recurring buyer on the show between 2015 and 2019. Always calm, always alongside his son. As of 2026, Renee and Casey are still together, still on the show, and still standing. In a cast defined by broken relationships and collapsed businesses, that alone is worth noting. Ivy Calvin, the king of Palmdale, came to Storage Wars from a background in arena football and mixed martial arts. He joined in Season 3 and became a main cast member by Season 5. He brought his sons into the business and turned those segments into some of the most genuine television the show ever produced. He is still running Grandma's Attic in Palmdale, still active on Season 16, and still doing live streams for nearly 270,000 Facebook followers. He never lost the thread of what he built before the cameras arrived. Mark Balelo was one of the most visible personalities in the show's early seasons. He walked into every auction dressed like he had somewhere better to be, carrying a bag full of cash. His nickname was Rico Suave. Behind all of it was a methamphetamine addiction that had been running for years. In early 2013, he was arrested on a meth possession charge, posted bail the same day, and 2 days later, his fiancée found him in his car, inside the sealed garage at his auction house, with the engine still running. Mark Balelo was 40 years old. His business closed the same day, leaving 12 employees without income overnight. Storage Wars gave millions of viewers a reason to watch on Tuesday nights. It turned parking lots and rolling metal doors into appointment television. The people inside it were real, carrying real things that the format never had any interest in showing.